Welcome back. Now, we had a little discrepancy. So, if you got the last video and if it got deleted because I got some phone calls back, I'm not a people pleasing person, but I do respect the mind frame of others, and also I'm not getting on here to bash anybody to make me look better, and this is to help people not to be successful. So my family is important, and I do respect their opinions and the constructive criticism. And to move forward, I apologize. If you've seen the last video and you got something out the last video, if you really did, stick to it and apply it to your life, because I'm not going to get on the last video. We're going to move forward today. And welcome to Darrell Walker's group support group management. Excuse me. Let me say that again. Trauma support group management. Now, I got to keep it real. Every day and moving forward and processing, you're going to make mistakes. And today I made a mistake. And I'm man enough to say, I made a mistake. And guess what? But that ain't finna stop the show. We finna keep it going, right? So guess what topic we're going to talk about today? Accountability. We're going to talk about accountability. Okay, so I'm going off my notes today because, my last video was Wild Wednesday and it didn't work out right. Today in accountability is a promise or a contract with self or others. So you got to think about it. When you have accountability, you have to earn up to what you have done. Right now, like I was saying in my last video, that some people felt like I was telling business, or I felt like I was saying a certain way. But when you have accountability, you can't say what you did was right. Sometimes you have to be open-minded and hear what the other person is saying. And when you listen to what the other person is saying, then you're taking accountability. I made a contract with myself. My accountability is to get on here every day and make a video of positivity. But today, if you're watching this video and I'm talking to you, what are you accountable for? If you can look at yourself and say, I need to be accountable for this, I need to be accountable for that. Are you being accountable? It's a great question. Because by an example, not to repeat myself, but I want to emphasize on this. I do not want to bash anybody for success. No, I don't. I'm already successful. I've been successful, and I'm just pushing my success to another level. But I don't want to hurt anybody on the way. My success and my accountability is to help you, not break people down. So if you feel offended in any of my videos, don't take it as an offense. Just take it as accountability. All right, so I have questions. My other video was talking about parenting, with the kids. So the question is, how do you hold your kids or self accountable? Right. Due to the nature that my sister gave me a reality of feeling like a co-parent or a caretaker of my life, she said, brother, you don't have any kids. I respect that. And for the people that do have kids, I don't know what it is to be a parent. So I can't really speak on that. Question number 3, how do you hold others accountable? I have my family that holds me accountable, and I appreciate you guys' support. But your friends, your coworkers, or your schoolmates, or even your church, people you go to church with, or any kind of setting, how are you holding accountability? Are you making the right decisions? Are you or just going with the flow? Okay. Another question is, why is it more difficult to be accountable to yourself? You know why it's more difficult to be accountable to yourself? Because you don't want to address yourself. You don't want to look at what you really did. A lot of people that struggle with this is pride, or they just don't want to address themselves. Me, I address myself. I have some past hurts that I'm still healing from, and some past hurts that I have healed from. There's some past hurts that I didn't understand why I was hurting, but now that I'm accountable for myself, I need to find out what those things was and why, what I went through. And today, I asked a question about a certain situation that I had brought up. I know it sounds confusing, but I had a situation where I didn't know something, and I asked the person that, why did you do me, or why was it was done the way it was done in this situation? And they gave me the answer. So now it's not even a hurt anymore. It gave me more clarity. When you're in accountability, you can find clarity. You can find clarity. You can find that truth is being told, and truth will set you free. That's why it's good to have accountability. Right. That's good. Okay. Another statement is, relapse is more than addiction. To change old habits and being. Now, y'all watch my videos, I used to have old habits. I really could say I sit here, I'm not a perfect shiny ball, but I'm not that dusty hay that's rolling in the desert either. When you are accountable to yourself, your attitude, your thinking process, the way you speak, the things you address, or how you receive things, when you're in accountability, you can receive it clearly without no misunderstanding. And a lot of times when people have misunderstanding, because they don't want to address the accountability. And me, as an example, some people I got feedback, and I took the feedback, I took the accountability. But guess what? I got right back on here and made another video, because I'm accountable for making one video a day. So what are you saying, Mr. Walker? Even things that are in you that you address and you deal with it and you accept that's what you are, and what mistake you have made doesn't stop the show. It starts. This video is going to be way better than the last one, because it started with my accountability. I can't point the finger at y'all. And I appreciate for me having in the ears and the heart to be open to accountability. Now the question is, do you have the ears, the eyes, and the heart for accountability? Can you accept the way of your being, of your attitudes, of your lifestyle? Now, we're not going to talk about past. We're going to talk about right now. Right now, can you accept the person that you are? I can accept the person that I am. One of my #1 things is the bad before the good. And I have sit here and shared my testimony, but today I ran into a new level of speaking. And in my speaking, I learned that some things that I have personally in my life that you can't name names or really emphasize on the situation, because that's not accountable. That's actually embarrassing people. So, but here I am, from my learning mistake, taking accountability. So if you don't know how to take accountability, I just showed you how to take accountability. If somebody says something about you, or someone is construction criticizing or giving you construction criticism, you need to probably take that, because if you want to grow, you would take construction criticism. The reason why some people don't grow, because they don't take construction criticism. All right. You are more accountable for self, improvement, walk, and sobriety. Now, some decisions that I have made, today wasn't good decisions, but guess what? I took accountability for it. And I want to improve. Right now, I am improving. And it's not about, oh yeah, I made the mistake. It's how I'm moving forward. So guess what? Today's video is not only showing you that you can, it don't take a week, it don't take a day, it don't take 10 hours, it takes a minute to change in the self accountability. I just got all the phone calls. They gave me some phone calls. They expressed how they feel. I respect how they feel. And guess what? As a person that is humble, with humility, that I took that accountability and said, hey, you know what? I understand what you're saying, and we'll work on that. Now, you have some people that you could tell them what's wrong with them, and they'll be in denial. Or they'll be, or totally disagree with what you say. That's how some people are. Some people, not individuals. So let's get this correct. I'm not talking about nobody individually. I'm talking to the world, not just you. Let's get that part. Okay. So when you are being accountable, recovery is a part of accountability. Now, recovery is just not just drugs, sobriety. Accountability and recovery is a lot of ways. The way you think, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you feel, how you present things to others, or how you live in your home. Just generally how you care for yourself. And right now, what we're watching in all my videos are part of recovery. It's for you to discover and recover yourself. That was good. It's part for you to discover and recover yourself. When you discover things about you that's not good, you can recover from that. That was good. You can recover. So if you want to say something with me today, can you say this with me today? I can recover. Say it one more time. I can recover. Good. Now that you said that, do you discover? What I mean by discover, will you take the time and look in and see yourself? And I'm not just always pointing at faults. See your goodness, see your good intentions, see your tools, the best version of you. I know a lot of people, but see, when you're dealing with trauma, when you're dealing with trauma, there's a lot of bad stuff inside. And I have discovered that I have resolved a lot of my issues. I just need to talk about them in a better way. It's part of my accountability in my recovery. So today I want to just address that it's the way you say things that can trigger or offend people. And we need to control how we're saying and what we're saying, and in what degree and manner and subject that we're talking. Another statement or another tool I have for you is when you're in recovery or discovering yourself, you are emotionally, mentally, physically, with relation, kids, friends, and coworkers. All of these things play together as one. So even when you're dealing with these people that's around you, you want to make sure you have accountability, because if you don't have accountability, you will slip and fall. Some people will watch you fall. And thank God that I have the people in my corner that don't want to see me fall, so they keep me accountable. And I'm appreciative for that. So if you don't have accountability in your life, find some kind of support. Find some positive people. Go to church. Even not even that. If you want to do it by yourself, get a list. Right? Get you a list and sit down and say, you know what? Let me do it this way. Let me do it that way. I should address this, or let me shoot to the goal vision for this. It's good to write down lists because it keeps you accountable. Well, I think my mom found that funny right now. Don't laugh. But it's good to keep a list because it keeps you accountable. And when you have things and God does things in decency and order, you will begin to see fruit of your accountability. Excuse me. So, to another note, excuse me. Also, in accountabilities, also be aware of your emotions, your mental, your behaviors. Be focused and mindful of how you are, because how you are, especially if you're trying to better yourself or be an example, you really need to watch your emotions, mental, and behaviors. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me too. So understand that anything that I do share with you, it's not just applying to you guys, it's also applying it to myself. Because I had to sit back and watch these videos too, which are very encouraging. And I hope they're encouraging to you. Okay, so another level is identify warning signs, feelings, attitudes, and behavioral patterns. Also with social environments. So these are key things that we need to see. First of all, what are your warning signs? I'm gonna share with y'all one of my warning signs. I have discovered in doing these videos that I cannot really share about my parents. I just found that out today. And the reason why, because evidently from not talking to my parents, my daddy passed away, so I can't talk to him, so I can't ask him no questions. But it was a great relief today that I could ask my mother a question and she gave me an answer. And sometimes we hold pain that shouldn't be there because you're the pain that you have because you don't know. And some things that bother us is from not knowing. And have we took the time to ask the question? No. So if you are available now in the time of your life, and you have pain with inside of you, ask that person. Talk to that person. Say, hey, why did this go this way? Or why did this turn out this way? And that's a part of accountability. And what you're doing, instead of just holding on to negative emotion and playing these thoughts in your mind, just address the issue itself or the person that you have the issue with and see what the answer is. And then when you get the answer, it make you feel more better because now you understand there was accountability with them as well. Also, all the warning signs in your feelings. Pay attention how you feel. I guess my last video, everybody said it was Wild Wednesday, but I guess I went too wild. But that's okay. When you make mistakes, my feelings was this. When they got the call, they said, hey, la 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 la. I said, okay. And my feelings towards what they were saying, look at my face. I was happy. I wasn't happy of the video. I was happy of the feedback that they gave me, and it helped me be better in this video because I and we are striving to be better. One thing about as you're walking and being in accountability or moving forward out of yourself, you're going to relapse. You're going to have, I told you I relapse every day. Today I had a relapse, but it didn't stop me from saying, hey, you know what? Click delete that video and come on here and make a better video. So what are you saying, Mr. Walker? Just because you come to a bump in the road, don't flat the tire. You see what I'm saying? Just because some people don't agree with you, you don't start pursuing what you're designed or purpose to do. So it's good to have agreement because agreement is a part of accountability. So today, with my phone calls, I agree with them. I agree with them totally and say, hey, you know what? Thank you for making me better. And I'm saying it now. Thank you for making me better because I know you're going to look at the video and be like, oh, this is who I was looking for. Wonderful. Also, what's your attitude? In accountability, you will be checked. What kind of attitude will you have when you get checked with your accountability? Today, my accountability was checked. And I have a positive attitude. I literally, I wish I could just hug, the people. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. I wish I could just hug. Matter of fact, you need to hear it. Come over here. But anyways, I wish I could just hug the people and just really thank them instead of, see, sometimes when people are not accountable, this is what happens. When they don't care, you can make a mistake and you just lit a fire for them. Oh yeah, see, I knew it. He was gonna mess up. Da, 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 da. And see, I told you he was gonna fall. He ain't gonna last long. Da, da, da. That's not happening in my case. I'm just saying for anybody that has experienced what I'm talking about. And there's a lot of people that do not want to see you succeed. And I just found out today in accountability that I have people want to see me succeed. I have people support that I didn't think that was going to support me. And see, that was part of my mind, but I wasn't looking for support. That's another thing, guys. If you're not looking for support or you don't have support, get some support. Okay. And back to the attitude is this. Anytime that you're being checked, your attitude should be, you shouldn't have an attitude. You should say, you know what? Okay, let me listen. Now, if you're not humble, you're going to be offended. You're going to backlash. You're going to get into an argument. You're going to have misunderstanding. That's the attitude. Some people, hey man, you said it, or and their attitudes can be different from yours. I want to teach you how to have a different attitude. Not saying we had attitudes, but I could have said, hey, this is my video. I know what I'm doing. Y'all don't know what I've been through. I can say what I want to say. This is my video. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people. I didn't. That's attitude. That's called pride. I didn't have that today. I said, hey, you know what? It's understandable. My attitude, I'm glad. I'm so happy that y'all sitting here telling me this because this is what I need. And people that really want to help themselves, be open-minded to help when it comes. Because it's all learning lesson. These videos that I have been doing, I started off like Cringer, off of He-Man, but God that drew the sword, and now I'm busting out like a tiger. Right, stay in control. You feel me? So, bravery and honesty and truth is the one being bold, and it's a certain kind of level of boldness you can have. That's another attitude people have. They're bold, but you can have a good bold, positive bold. Then you have some people that's bold, ready to knock your whole head off. So, there's different kind of boldnesses, but my boldness today is just to say, you know what? I can overcome anything. You can overcome anything. If you get some correction, some construction criticism in your life, it's not for you to bash you. It's for you to gain. So keep that humble humility attitude and have that appreciation attitude so you can grow. Our behaviors. So another thing with my situation, my behavior was very calm. My behavior was, it actually turned out to a laughing joke after the situation because we got a laugh off of it. And it's good to have a positive behavior because you get positive results. So evidently, the video I did make must then have that positive output because the feedback was, kind of disappointing. But that's okay. Let me tell you something. Where I came from, I'm not who I am today. It took me a minute to get here. Where I'm finna go and where we're going. Let me say us because the viewers, I'm doing this for myself, but I'm also here for you as well. And where we're going, there might be some bumps in the road, but don't stop. Your behavior, if you're in a situation and if you're wrong about something, don't backlash, don't argue, and don't be defensive or offensive. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes the truth hurts. The truth hurts people. And today I got truth and it didn't hurt me. It built me. So, that was good. So listen, when you do get truth, don't let it hurt you. Let it build you. Let it make you stronger. Because that's what we're here for. We're not here to tear down and divide. We're here to build together and see each other grow. Today, I thank God for my family because today we grow together. I haven't talked to certain people in a while, or I talk to a person every day, and I can hear from them. And, like they said, hey, I don't call you, but check this out. Accountability. But guess what? It separates us. I want to say this to y'all. When you're in accountability about your behaviors and everything, and you address it and be respectful and mindful, it draws you closer. Not even to just the people. It draws you closer to yourself. And let me put it in order. It draws you closer to God, yourself, and then your family. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is all about. This is about drawing everybody closer. So I'm glad my behavior is not prideful or controlling. Right. Another thing, what triggers that make you relapse? Well, I think I found out today. Not to be funny, but I mean, it is kind of funny because when you think you're over something, you don't know unless you're triggered, and sometimes you can trigger yourself without even knowing that you're triggered. So be careful how you express things or subjects that you talk about. Also, be careful of your environments, whatever you're around, or what you see and hear. Just be careful of that because during recovery, you do have triggers. I am the trigger man. Everything I'm gonna go, I'm triggered. You look at me the wrong way, I'm triggered. If you hang the phone too fast, I'm triggered. If I smell something, I'm triggered. And what I mean by smell something, let me break that down. I might smell somebody fart. I'm triggered. I'm back in the chain gang. Or I might smell some kind of pizza in the air, and it triggers me for a Pizza Hut. So we don't only have bad triggers. We have good triggers too. I want to express that. We have good triggers. Not every trigger is bad. But when you have trauma in your life, there are bad triggers. And today, I just want to help you and let you know that you can heal from your bad triggers. It's accountability. When you say, hey, you know what? That triggers me or that affects me. That's you taking accountability for yourself. And that's great. One thing to do in recovery or in constructive criticism or accountability, don't feel bored, flat, sad, scared. If you do these things, you're going to relapse. You're going to fail. Let me repeat that. Don't feel bored. One thing about me, I'm always excited to get back on here. And I sit down, I watch my videos. After I watch my videos, just to share a little bit with you, when I get off, I do decompress. I have a game, or I got baby fever, y'all. Help me out. I have baby fever. I love puppies and babies. I love them. Like, seriously. On my feed, if I ever show my feed, I watch all kinds of babies. Like they be trying to take the piece of chicken, baby like, nah. Or, you got the two siblings on the tricycle, fighting over the tricycle, or one take the pacifier out of his mouth, and the other side. See, I be on all that. So I do love kids. By the way, I have baby fever. I even like puppies. They have on my news feed on Facebook that I watch puppies. I love puppies. They especially when they start walking. Like, that's the cutest thing ever. So don't ever get bored. On top of that, I don't get bored. I always plan for the next day. I sit down and study my notes, or I'll go sleep. I eat and sleep. So if you don't have nothing to do, find some hobbies. Find something to do with your time, or find something to focus on with your time. So don't ever get bored. Flat. Just being flat. Just being, no joy, no expectations, no drive for nothing. If you're feeling like that, that might be a sign of depression or anxiety, and you might want to address that. Don't be so flat. Don't be so bored. Wake up. When I wake up in the morning, I'm excited. Sometimes I wake up and I'll be like, did I wake up? Because, my dreams be so vivid. I'll be sometimes I have to discern if I'm dreaming or if I'm fully awoke. But when I wake up for expectation. Hey, how my nails look? My feet good? I need to trim up. Let me trim up. Properly take care of yourself. Now, when you're taking care of yourself, you can't feel flat because, I find things like my shirt today is a new shirt. And I would like to say that, in my wardrobe colors, I haven't worn these colors, but to try a new experience in life, I'm wearing this color today. So that's great. That's not boring or flat. So to stop being flat, try new things, discover new things, or just try new things that you never tried before and see how it works for you. Also, don't be scared. Now, when I got my calls, I was not scared. I got my calls and I was like, oh, here we go. Something's about to go off, or something's going to be told. And in my calls, I was not offensive or defensive. I was just open and listening, and gave feedback, a positive feedback. And sometimes in life, moments can be scary. That's when panic, anxiety, fear, all these things, overwhelming, all these things can kick in. So a lot of times when people address issues, or issues are addressed, they get scared. So today, if you're addressing an issue, or the issue has been addressed, and you need to check on something or make better something with yourself, don't be scared to change. Don't be scared to say, hey, you know what? I was like that. Or I do have these problems. Don't be afraid of change. What keeps you in the box is fear. The fear of changing, the fear of moving forward. I was also, in my video, I was talking about parents. I'm going to go back to that in a respectful manner. Parents, do not be afraid to be open with your children, and children, do not be afraid to be open with your parents. That was probably one of my discussions on my video today, because there's a bond in parenthood and childhood. And I'm going to totally encourage and ask that you push, that you get over how you feel. Don't be fearful of what people think. Don't be fearful of what their response is going to be. Just go ahead and if you want to grow, if you want to move forward, go ahead and deal with your issues, and don't be scared to do that. So that was great. Do things that keeps you healthy and not to relapse or have accountability. My mom's call. So I'm live. I will call you back. I love you. Okay. So
all right, love you too.
All right. So there are things that you could do healthy, like practice positive communication with your peers, or sometimes get in the mirror and encourage yourself. Don't be afraid of anything that's coming your way for you to change. If you have obstacles or a problem that you're coming up with, just be ready to have a healthy mindset, or have a healthy outcome about the situation, because everything that comes your way is not bad. It's actually for you to grow. So in doing that, let me stay focused. All right. Another thing, pay attention to your relapse warning signs. Now, like I said, relapse is not just doing drugs or getting high. Relapse could be your attitude, your behavior, whatever the case may be. So also just really pay attention and be aware of how you are and what you're doing and what's going on in your healthy walk of changing. Another thing, vulnerabilities and methods for prevention and meditations. So you have to find something that that helps you focus or helps you empower yourself with your vulnerabilities. Now, being vulnerable is a very sensitive thing. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to address or to see yourself how others see you. That can be vulnerable. And in doing that, you have to look at yourself and be real with yourself and say, you know what, you have to become vulnerable and say, all right, maybe I do have these issues. Maybe I do have these problems. And maybe there are things that I need to do to better that. So find methods of prevention. Find something positive to do. Have positive feedback. Have positive people to hang around with. Focus on something that makes you happy, or shoot for a goal that will help you be accountable to not relapse or make bad decisions or have bad attitudes and speak badly. Another thing. Now, I was talking about our vulnerabilities. Some of our vulnerabilities could be anger, anxiety, depression, mental distress, or grief. It could also be exhaustion, hunger, pain, people or social parties, crowds, or something that you see, sound, smell, or times of days and places, or decorations or holidays and anniversaries. So vulnerabilities are also triggers. We have to understand that. So if you are triggered, you are vulnerable. Not saying that you're weak. It's just something that you need to address and say, hey, you know what? This vulnerability is triggering me now. Like I said, that all triggers and vulnerabilities are not bad. When you want to grow, you have to be vulnerable. When you want to heal, you have to be vulnerable. When you want to learn, you have to be vulnerable. To what? To accountability. Because when you're learning and you're growing and you're healing, all of that is accountability. When you have problems with people that have done you wrong, or you did a person wrong, you have to apologize to them and make accountability. On top of that, as you're growing, you have to look within yourself and take that accountability that will make you vulnerable. So I said that before. Also, have people or someone to be a part of your recovery or your accountability. Have someone that can say, hey, give you the blood, honest, raw truth, even if it hurts or not. Give somebody that, okay? Sometimes the truth sets us free. Sometimes telling the person the truth raises us to a higher level. It's not for us to be shut down. So if you hear anything that's on here and it's hitting an area in your life, it's that you're vulnerable to it, but there's an area that you probably need to heal from or discover and recover and take accountability for it. And we're about to end in a little bit here. Also, accountability and recovery is about building and not preventing or avoiding. Now, there's a lot of things that people do in life when accountability is around. People avoid and prevent it. Some people will say keep you from preventing you from telling them the truth and letting them know what's really going on, or how you see them, or what you think about them, or probably what's the truth. But they will avoid that because they don't want that accountability. And today I discovered that I'm not preventing or avoiding. I'm just I want to build. And that's when you're dealing with yourself and you're healing, you're building. You're not vulnerable and being weak. You're just building. So today, if you get anything from this today, understand that accountability is a building process. And there are certain things in your accountability that would trigger you, but it should trigger you for the good. Like I said before, if you are triggered, I prefer that you seek professional help or find someone that you're comfortable talking to, or continue to watch these videos that will help you. Like I said, today was a mistake, but it don't stop me from playing. You feel me? So I want to encourage you. I want to thank you for your time and attention. I thank you for your support and your constructive criticism. And thank you today for watching Trauma Support Group Management by Dwell Walker, and be accountable.